the most important thing? What if you had another chance? What if there was a secret treasure waiting to be found? What if there was an ancient path that led to life as it was meant to be? Would you take it? What if it wasn't easy? What if it wasn't cheap? What if it wasn't quick? What if there was a way to be good again? To become who God meant when He meant you? What if you could have your whole heart restored? What if you could be strong again, courageous again, and learn to love with a ferocity that outlives your life? What if that's what they remember?
Friends in South Africa, it's Morgan Snyder from the Wild at Heart team. It's an honor to connect with you, though I'd much prefer it face-to-face, perhaps around a boma or in the bushveld somewhere in South Africa, just like we got to do in recent years when we offered our last Wild at Heart boot camp just outside of Pretoria. Friends, there are these questions deep in the heart of a man. What is the most important thing? When can you entrust a man with power? Over 2 decades ago, I set out on a relentless quest to find the answer. And what I found was not what I expected. And where I found it was in the most unanticipated of places. With it came a restored strength, an unshakable hope, and an increasing joy. It turned out not to be a thing at all, but rather a path to becoming who God meant when He created each one of us. And it's my joy and sacred trust to share this path with you. See, we find ourselves in a remarkable moment in human history. The harm of masculine power misused is at center stage. And yet, underneath these headlines, there's another story quietly at work. It's the story of masculinity restored. Something began to be recovered when John Eldredge wrote Wild at Heart. And for 21 years, I've had the privilege of partnering with John to offer Wild at Heart boot camps all around the world to thousands of men. Friends, men are being restored. They are becoming part of the solution to one of the greatest threats to the gospel in our age. The path isn't easy, it isn't quick, and it isn't cheap, but it works. It's available, and it's worth it. I wrote Becoming a King as an invitation to this path and this process. It was deposited in me over a decade through seeking relentlessly after the counsel of over 75 wiser, older guides who were willing to share their pain and what they had learned about becoming wholehearted. The path is not where you might expect it, but it leads the heart of a man into life as it was meant to be. Through my own fierce commitment to becoming, I've given my entire life to this message and this mission. And I have confidence that over time, the headlines will change, that we'll live to see the day when many men will use their power to bring a greater goodness to women and children and to the kingdoms entrusted to their care. Becoming a King launched in the U.S. in May of 2020, and it's now launching in South Africa. The book, the video series, and the in-depth study guide I wrote to take people through this path and process in community over time. And I'll be hosting a South Africa Becoming a King launch event online. I'd love for you to join me, and you can find out more about that under events at becomegoodsoil.com. For our many friends in South Africa, I wanted to share some gifts with you. On becomingaking.com/gifts, you can find several of the first sessions of the Becoming a King video series for free. You can find the beginning of the Becoming a King study guide for free. And in the audiobook, as I was recording it, I sensed God invite me to bring some of my closest allies in this message into the studio. I sensed him say one of the most powerful ways that people could access the message is to hear the impact of living this message out in life over a decade. And so I grabbed the men and I asked them, what is the fruit? What's the impact of consenting to the path and process of becoming a king? During that recording with my buddies, I sensed the Holy Spirit say, and now I want you to invite their wives. And it felt like a huge risk. And so I invited my wife and the wives of some of my closest allies who are all married to a man that has given his life to this mission and message of becoming for over a decade. And I turned on the microphones and asked them to tell their stories for better and for worse. What's it like to live with a man who's consenting to becoming a king? And so that audio series, a conversation with the wives in 2 parts, is available for you for free on becomingaking.com/gift. Friends, you can find Becoming a King, the study guide, the video series, and the book wherever books are sold. And also, you can find them and a lot more at becomingaking.com.